I need every single person watching this video to pause whatever you're doing right now. Silence your phone, close those extra browser tabs, and just focus for a minute. I'm sitting here in my studio staring at the official quarterfinal draw, and I genuinely have goosebumps because the absolute dream scenario has just fallen perfectly into place. Soon, the mainstream sports networks will roll out their polished promo packages for this matchup, and they'll try to sell you a simple, convenient, and completely manufactured storyline. By tomorrow morning, YouTube thumbnails will be everywhere, splashed with neon text and dramatic shock faces, framing this as the classic David versus Goliath battle. They'll tell you that Coco Gauff, the reigning American superstar, the Grand Slam champion, the powerful face of modern tennis, is stepping into this quarterfinal as the clear and overwhelming favorite against a hungry, gritty challenger on the rise, and that's the narrative they'll push from every possible angle. I'm telling you right now, as someone who spends hours studying the raw, unfiltered, completely unbiased data from every match these two women have played, the mainstream media is fundamentally afraid to tell you what's really at stake. This isn't just another tennis match. We're about to witness a fierce collision between two completely opposing statistical forces, and it's going to explode from the baseline from the very first strike of the ball. This is the irresistible force meeting the immovable object, and I'm going to explain exactly why this matchup could send shockwaves through the entire tennis world. But before we dive into the tactical breakdown of why this match might break the internet, I need to speak directly to the people who felt this coming. I'm talking to the Eala Army and the die-hard Coco Gauff defenders, because the energy around this quarterfinal isn't just building on the court. It's in the stands, in the comment sections, and across the global tennis community. To the Eala fans, you've been telling everyone for months that Alexandra was a generational talent. You watched her grind through the lower-level tournaments and believed long before the spotlight caught up, you noticed her precise footwork. You recognized her sky-high tennis IQ, and you built an unshakable wall of support around her. Analysts brushed it aside, claiming she lacked the raw power to trade blows with the heavy hitters, but you believed her into this stage. And to the Coco fans, you've watched your star shoulder the crushing expectations of American tennis since she was just 15. You've seen her battle through swing adjustments, coaching shifts, and technical breakdowns. You've watched her grind out messy, emotional wins on pure heart and unreal athleticism. The energy from both fan bases is about to turn center court into a full-blown pressure cooker. When they step out of that tunnel, the tension will be so thick it feels tangible. This isn't merely a quarterfinal, it's a cultural flashpoint for the sport. To grasp why this matchup could shake modern tennis at its core, we have to take an honest look at the storm brewing on Coco's side of the net. All season long, the numbers reveal a player leaning heavily on athletic brilliance and sheer will, while her serve has shown visible cracks. Double faults have piled up in clusters, 12, sometimes 16 in a match. Imagine the mental strain of that. She looks caught between mechanics and instinct, searching for rhythm at the very line meant to start every point with control. Her first serve percentage has been stuck in the brutal low 40s, which means she's constantly leaning on a shaky, exposed second serve. She's leaking free points, practically gifting opponents entire games without them needing to take a full swing. In a normal scenario, a player serving like that gets rushed off the court in under an hour. But here's the frightening paradox of Coco Gauff, and the reason she's a Grand Slam champion. Even with a service motion that seems to sabotage her, she refuses to break. She has this ice-cold clutch instinct where the moment rallies begin and her back is against the wall, she locks in and takes over from the baseline. Coco doesn't win pretty. She drags opponents into chaos. It's as if she's saying, "Fine, my serve is shaky. Take the free points. But once the ball's in play, you're in my world." She moves faster than anyone out there, chases down shots that seem unreachable, and overwhelms players with relentless defense and raw, athletic pressure. She bets on the fact that eventually they'll blink first. Coco is the ultimate survivor. She's an apex predator, most dangerous when she's wounded. But now we have to shift our eyes to the other side of the net and examine the worst possible tactical matchup Coco Gauff could face in her current mechanical state. We have to talk about Alexandra Eala. If Coco is the chaotic survivor, Eala is the calm, calculated, relentlessly intelligent baseline assassin. You can't rattle her. You can't lure her into a messy street fight and expect panic because long, punishing rallies are her territory. All tournament long, we've watched her methodically take apart experienced, tactically sharp veterans without relying on a single ace. No free points. Think about the discipline that demands. Every point she earns is built through patience, heavy topspin, precise construction, and sheer physical stamina. She chooses to compete without leaning on the easiest weapon in tennis and still manages to suffocate opponents. And this is where the statistical collision becomes unavoidable, where the match will truly be decided. Eala has been posting outrageous numbers on her second serve, winning over 70% of those points. She has transformed the most vulnerable shot in tennis into a wall you can't crack. So I keep asking myself, what happens when Coco Gauff's erratic, unpredictable service games collide with Alexandra Eala's relentless, ice-cold baseline consistency? If Coco walks onto center court believing she can donate a dozen double faults and still control the match in rallies, she's stepping into serious danger. Eala's entire identity is built on exposing instability. The moment Coco misses that first serve, the Eala supporters will erupt, the energy will surge, and Eala will move inside the baseline without a hint of hesitation. She'll attack those second serves early, steal away reaction time, and force Coco into desperate sprints. Eala doesn't chase reckless winners. She drives heavy, deep, viciously spinning shots that slowly sap confidence from across the net. This quarterfinal will be decided in the smallest mental margins. It's not about the loudest forehand, but about who cracks at 5-all in a final set. Coco thrives as the alpha, feeding off visible doubt. But when she looks across the net, she won't see fear. She'll see Eala steady, composed, ready for a 30-shot rally without blinking. Picture the crushing pressure on Coco Gauff as she tosses the ball for second serve at 30-40, fully aware that if she misses by even a hair, Eala won't give the return away. Her arm will feel impossibly heavy. She knows free points aren't coming, and she knows Eala will calmly absorb every ounce of pace sent her way. Eala is going to stretch Coco's patience, push her conditioning, and most of all, test her composure. We've already seen Eala rip off 7 straight games against seasoned veterans simply by refusing to blink. If she breaks early, if a couple of double faults hand her momentum, this could turn into a cold, methodical unraveling of the American star. But you can never discount the resolve of a champion. Coco Gauff has stood in these dark, nerve-rattling moments before. She's been down a set and a break, battling her own serve, battling the crowd, and still managed to claw her way back. If she somehow rediscovers rhythm on that first serve, if she starts landing 60 or 70%, the entire match dynamic flips. Suddenly Eala is the one retreating. Suddenly the absence of easy aces becomes a weakness, because Coco will attack returns with venom. If it turns into a track meet, a showcase of explosive speed and raw power, Coco gains the edge. The real question is whether her mechanics can withstand the steady, probing pressure of Eala's baseline precision. Will Coco embrace extended rallies or rush and leak errors trying to finish too soon? That's why this matchup feels electric. It's chaotic athletic brilliance against disciplined geometric control. The media may frame it as inevitable American dominance, but the underlying numbers suggest something far tighter. Eala is almost engineered to expose mechanical instability. No aces needed, just depth, angles, and belief. Yet Coco remains the ultimate variable, the player who shatters projections and wins when logic says she shouldn't. This is the moment where potential becomes undeniable reality for both players, the kind of match that can define entire seasons. If Eala weathers the opening storm, surviving the first 4 or 5 games where Coco explodes out of pure adrenaline and raw energy, the contest will gradually evolve into a relentless tactical chess match. And in that kind of battle, the player who limits unforced errors usually takes the trophy. I want to know what both fan bases are feeling as we edge closer to this colossal clash. Are you on edge? Do you believe Eala's baseline mastery will exploit Coco's serving struggles, or will Coco's Grand Slam experience and elite speed prove too much for the rising star? Imagine the roar when Eala fires her first passing shot, or when Coco saves a break point with a crushing forehand. Flood the comments now with your predictions, tactical insights, and energy, showing the YouTube algorithm just how passionate this tennis community is. Will Eala pressure Coco's forehand to draw mistakes, or attack every second serve aggressively? Can Coco fix her toss in time, or will she lean entirely on her defensive skills again? Tell me exactly how you see this epic quarterfinal unfolding, point by point, shot by shot. Make sure you smash that like button to push this unfiltered, data-driven breakdown to the top of everyone's feed, so the real story of this matchup reaches viewers before the broadcast networks try to spin it. Subscribe to the channel right now. Turn on notifications, grab your snacks, clear your schedule, and get ready for an absolute battle on center court. Alexandra Eala and Coco Gauff are about to step onto the baseline, and the tennis world is completely unprepared for the statistical storm that's about to hit. I'll be right here for the immediate, unscripted post-match breakdown the very second the final point lands.